Hello everyone, welcome back to Total Football Talk. So we're going to have a quick look at the latest headlines coming out of Old Trafford. And we'll start with Marcus Rashford. So the top headlines is Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. That's the biggest talking point we have today. It's kind of being reported that if he is going to go to Barcelona, he's going to have to take a wage reduction. And do we think he's actually going to make that reduction? Is he going to take it? Is he going to step up to the plate and want to play football so he can start looking towards the World Cup squad 2026? Or is he just going to squander his time and just sit on the bench for Manchester United? If even that is the case, I don't know whether he'll leave. Obviously, Ruben Amorim didn't even have him in the team the other night when we played Brighton. So for him to be, or not Brighton, whoever we played the other night, because it's just completely gone out of my head. But whoever we played the other night, Rangers, sorry, he wasn't actually in the team. He wasn't on the bench. He wasn't anywhere. But he was in the stadium. But that was about the height of it. So I don't think Ruben Amorim really wants to have him anywhere near the squad. He obviously made certain comments after his press conference alluding to that. For Rashford's sake, if Barcelona, it looks like Dortmund are out of the race. AC Milan obviously got Kyle Walker. Napoli have dropped all interest. Juventus have dropped interest. So all the clubs that were originally interested in taking Rashford have now dropped their interest, and Barcelona are his last hope. It's a bit like the kid needs hope, and they're kind of the ones with the door ajar. But is he going to be able to squeeze through it and drop some of the baggage, as in some of his wages? It'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I just can't see him doing it. I mean, I hope for his sake he does. I hope for United's sake he does. For the sake of everybody at the club, maybe it will be a loan. I think that's the only way he's going to go at this stage. It'll be a loan, and Barcelona cover most of the wages. Or like in Anthony's case, where Real Betis are actually taking on 83% of Anthony's wages, which is a fair deal, I think, for any of us to have got done. But Rashford's case, I just can't see them. I can't see Barcelona taking on 83% of his wage. If they do, great. They already have some players on big wages, especially the likes of Frankie De Jong, who they want out of the club, but they can't get rid of him. So, and he's on a massive wage. So I just don't. I don't think this is going to sit well. I think this is going to go right down to the very end of the transfer window, and it can still swing one way or the other. Okay, looking at the other headlines, Manchester United apparently have reached a deal of 27 million for Dorgu. Manchester United have also tabled, the other reports then is just a quick one on Jack Kingdom going to Rochadale on loan, and we'll look at the Fulham game. But going back to the Dorgu deal, 27 million. Where do you stand with that? Personally, I think it's too much. I think anything over 25 is ridiculous. And that includes add-ons for me. Not having it, but 27 million looks like where we are with that. But there was another report had come out from Rob Dawson from ESPN, and Rob was talking about United reassessing the Alvaro Fernandez deal from Benfica. Now, for me, that's a no-brainer. As I mentioned in the previous video, played brilliant against Barcelona the other night, was superb, had everything. Defensively, he's very, very good. He's very good going forward. He knows how to whip in across. And I think, against Yamal, one of the best young players in the world, he did very well against him. Okay, yeah, give a penalty away, but I don't know where football is these days, because these penalties are just ridiculous. You touch someone on the shoulder and that's enough for them to collapse into a heap, and that's a penalty. I mean, yeah, back in the early 2000s, whenever it was a proper game of football and you could actually make a tackle, I mean, I don't mind them having the ability to be looked after, and some of those tackles maybe were a bit reckless back then, but I mean, some of these tackles now that aren't even tackles, it's just kind of you blow on them and you just fall over. I just can't be doing with that. So I think I think Fernandez could be in. I would go there because one, it's like 12 million. It's you save so much money, and that money can be utilized elsewhere in the squad, and definitely should be done. There was obviously talk of Nkunku as well coming from Chelsea, which is another interesting deal. Whether it's part of the Garnacho deal or whether Manchester United take him on loan. Nkunku is a very good player, terrible injury record. I've seen him in fits and starts. I know he's done well for the French national team. He's done okay for Chelsea again in parts, but he just can't stay fit. So do you really want to take in a player who can't stay fit? you know, because you're essentially just trying to get to the end of the season with another option up front. And he is good, but he's not an out-and-out striker. So does he play, is he another one that plays in the 10 role? I mean, it would be useful to have another one who plays in the 10 role. Maybe he could link up with Zirkzee or Højlund, but I don't know. Would you take him in? Let me know in the comments. Give me your thoughts. And Kunku, maybe. You know, Alvaro Fernandez or Dorgu. Who would you go for? Hello everyone, welcome back. I lost myself halfway through there, so I'm not entirely sure where I got up to. Okay, we'll have a quick look at, I was talking about tackles and, yeah, tackles. Okay, yeah, so Dorgu and whether he could live up to his potential playing in the Premier League. I think it's going to be tough for him. I think we looked at Alvaro Fernandez. I think I've already talked a little bit about that, but I would, bit of a moment on it, I would take Alvaro Fernandez back. Sort of, yeah, any day of the week. Now, he's a very good player. I like him. I think he's got a lot of potential, knows the club, been here, understands it maybe a bit more than Dorgu. Maybe ceiling wise, maybe they're much of a muchness. Maybe Dorgu's got a bit more pace. But I like Fernandez, and if we can bring him back on a cheap deal, 12, 13 million, I think that's what they should do. Going forward on the other little bits, the Athletic are reporting that they're reporting something that, you know, this deal could, the Dorgu deal could still go ahead, but for me it's a case of Fernandez is maybe the way forward. And finally, we'll look at Jack Kingdom. For a play to the kid, good young centre half, got the opportunity to go to Rochdale and have a really good time. Or, well, I don't know whether he's going to have a good time. Maybe he will have a good time in Rochdale, but I think he could go there and he could do well for himself. Gets a shot at playing in a, you know, a tough division, and he will get some minutes on the pitch and come up against some good strikers. And fair play to him. I think the kid will have a shot at it, and I hope it goes well, and that, you know, he can find his career, whether it's back at Old Trafford or whether it's kind of moving on to another club. I wish him well and hope that he has a, you know, enjoys his experience in a tough division. And then we'll look at the Fulham game. My last 2 points on this are Onana or Bayinda in goal. Who would you have? Let me know in the comments. I would go for Bayinda. I think he deserves his chance. He's been playing very well. He deserves it, and he would. You know, he made some really good saves the other night. But it looks like Amorim has said in his press conference after the Rangers game that Onana will start back in nets, and that's just going to be the way it is. These European coaches like to do this. Pep does it. Klopp did it. And yeah, we had now you know, and now Ruben Amorim is probably doing the same thing. So I think that I'd play Bayinda, but it looks like Onana's going to be back in nets. And for my only other question is Zirkzee or Højlund up front. Toss a coin for me. I've got a feeling to go with Højlund just to give Zirkzee a break because he's played the last couple of games. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are with that one. I think it'll be Zirkzee. I think it'll be Højlund that'll play. We'll leave it at that because I've lost the light, my computer's died, and everyone's shouting around me, and I can't hear a thing. Good evening. Thanks for listening, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.